I'm looking at your costings and the construction phase, item 4.1, resort residences, premium 330 at 780,000. Now, given the minuscule size of the blocks and the things you're putting on them, that seems to me to be a highly inflated costing for those things, and it makes me wonder about the rest of your spreadsheet. Could you comment, please?
What page is that?
I'm on page 12-35 of Initial Advice Statement. I mean, 780,000 for a house on a tiny block does not seem realistic. Hence, it makes me think that that is inflated, and if that's inflated, perhaps the whole grand total of 640 million is inflated.
Yeah, the costings were prepared by an economic expert. What was his name? Bill Cummings. He's done this type of thing for a number of EISs in the past. None of us here can speak to that question because none of us are economists. I'm an ecologist, I don't know anything about economics, and none of us here can answer that question. But people should be aware that all of this is examinable. The EIS, it's all going to be in the EIS, and there's a 30-day period at the end when you can let rip with those types of comments. It's going to be looked at closely, but we don't have the economist here with us tonight, I'm afraid.
Sorry, can you hear me? It's a question to Council. What is the budget for Council's work in the approval process of KUR-World? You've said Council have to be neutral, it won't cost money, it won't take money away. But down the hill, Cairns City Council, during the approval process, they spent, and I'll just read it so I don't get it wrong, $500,000. So I'm just concerned that our council, which initially told us that they had no say in this approval process, just a few phone calls, I found out, in fact, council has the final say on this process. He is unaware of the huge cost to both council and ratepayers. And I really hope that this will be looked at carefully, and any cost will be bounced back to the developer, because that only seems fair.
Can I just answer that in two questions? 2 parts, sorry. The back end of that was saying that initially we actually thought that this is being called in like the wind farm, and the wind farm, we had no input into it whatsoever, so we actually thought that we wouldn't have, all the information that we had suggested that we would have no input into it. And you found out that around about the same time that we did. So that's that answered. The other one, as far as the budget, we don't actually have it in the budget for KUR-World. When they do the development application, if there are some reports or stuff that we need from them, we will get a quote, and then it will be billed to the proponent. So, all right.
Why has work gone ahead when the development approval?
Sorry, we're just at the 1 minute mark now, and there was a question here. I think maybe this might have to be the last question, because I think people are looking. We're up to time now, and we'll take this one last question, and then I'll do some closing remarks.
If I can just clarify Sarah's question. In our fees and charges for development applications, for complex applications, it actually says effectively price on an application. We will actually go out and cost how much it will cost us, bring in the consultants to do the work, and that's what our fee will be. We do not want to load the community with an additional cost like that. It's not fair. The developer has to pay and bear the costs.
Thank you, Kathy. My final question is directed to you, sir. You haven't said anything all night, and I that's not a problem. You know, it's your right to stay there silent. But I think you may be the most important person in this room from the point of view of whether this proposal actually goes ahead or not. And my question really is to ask you to take note of what you've seen tonight. This is a community that doesn't have much political power in the sense that we never seem to get representatives in Parliament who actually represent us, but we are a united and very powerful community in terms of our spirit. We're very environmentally conscious. We've lost a lot of faith in this project because of the damage that was done to endangered species habitat already. We've got our suspicions up. And frankly, at this stage, we prefer not to have to fight another environmental campaign against something that is being foisted on us that we don't think is a good idea. So I would ask you to take account of what you've heard tonight, go back to Mr. Ken Lee, tell him that he may be in for a lot of trouble if he really wants to push this proposal through.
Thank you very much for everyone coming tonight. I first came to Cairns 24 years ago as a backpacker, and I've been living here for all these times, and I run some business, and I see some friends sitting here tonight, which I conduct business done in Cairns over the time. And I also work in tourism as a volunteer for the last 24 years. Many people know me, possibly, but many people possibly don't know me. I don't need to talk about my other business tonight because I'm representing KUR-World tonight. My job is to collect all the information, bring the best possible professionals to assist, to look after everyone's interest. I hear from you tonight, you have concern, and I will share this with Mr. Lee. We bring a team of cameramen here to film every conversation we have here tonight. My job is to report to him and express all the concerns and work with everyone in this room and produce the best possible result. Like you were asking me many questions I don't understand. I'm not in this trade, but I love this region. That's why I live here for a long, long time.
Why do you love it? Why do you love it?
Because I grow my family here. I do my business here, and I'm in tourism. Without tourism, we are not sitting here.
That's right, this time.
Well, I believe cutting down the tree was doing the cattle, which we are putting the cattle there, but I'm not qualified to talking about that. We got other experts there.
Don't come and destroy what you came to enjoy. That's right.
Yeah, that's what my role is. I'm doing the communication, and I will report this to Mr. Kenny in due course. And hopefully in the next couple of meetings, Mr. Kenny will be able to come here to share with everyone and take the questions and listening and assist all the concerns we have tonight.
I think that's really great note on which to
sorry, one more thing too. I met Kathy 6 months ago, and I promised her, with her concern, I will assemble the best possible team with many others to come to help to make sure what we're going to do is not going to destroy this place. We are here to make the best out of it.
Okay, so I think that's a great note on which to end this evening. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for being a very orderly audience. I have to say I was rather nervous about tonight, I can tell you that. Yeah, you are very civilised, and there were some great questions, and as you know, it's being recorded. It'll be up on Kuranda TV very soon. The one thing I would like two things I'd like to say just before you leave. Can you please make sure, some of you didn't get a chance to ask your questions. I'm sorry about that. It probably would have taken all night. Can we please could you please ensure that you put your questions on those sheets at the back of the room? There's a couple of tables with issues. If you could put your questions on there. And specifically, anybody who adjoins the Barnwell property, Geraldine Maguire would like to actually meet with you and take your contact details, because she would like to come specifically, starting with the neighbours. She would like to speak to the neighbours of the Barnwell property. And then, of course, we'll be going out from there. Let me tell you too that all the questions that you put at the back of the room will actually be answered in newsletters by KUR-World. So that make sure you subscribe to their on their email register, and then you'll get these newsletters which will contain the answers to all the questions that were asked. Thank you.
Kathy. Thanks, Kathy.